America, how y'all doing? Okay. Welcome to a brand new episode of Marcus the Interviewer Show with me, Marcus Boyd. You already know what we do over here. We interview nothing but legends and icons. Okay. So if you're a legend, you're an icon, you got an uplifting, positive story, powerful story. We want to interview you. You already know what we do. Happy Thursday. So today we have truly an icon. It's two of them, two icons, but we got one half of the two of the icons. So I am really, really, really excited to have him on my platform, on this platform, because this is why I didn't put his title out there, people, because this man has multiple titles. He's a chaplain, he's a book author, he's a clothing line owner, he's a shoe line owner, he is like a mentor, role model, counselor, videographer, photographer. Listen, this is why. This is why, because it has a lot of titles. Okay, so before we bring John McClung Jr., one half of KkMG, one half of a lot of different stuff that he's got his hands in. Before we bring the icon to the floor, I can't start nothing without my theme music.
Hey, yo. What's up, babe? Yo, this is the one, bro. Oh, yeah? What's good? I am telling you, man, that cat Marcus Boyd,
Yeah.
you know, the interviewer.
Yeah, I know that cat.
This is the one, bro.
Okay.
Mr. Marcus Boyd, the interviewer. You want the scoop, he gon' give it to you. No matter the conversation, he's already prepared to go and get into it with you. If you want somebody that's willing to listen with positive information for the vision, then all you gotta do is give him a call or catch him on his Instagram, that's all. And he gon' get with you like ASAP. They gon' tell you where the place at. And he gon' give you every single thing you need in order for him to make that dream happen for you. You believe in it, do what you do. Competition is sick with the flu, so if I was you, I would just jump on the plane, cause he coming through. Yo, it's Marcus Boyd, the interviewer. Some people call him a connoisseur. If you ain't never had it, you about to get it, cause Marcus is about to give it to you. Marcus Boyd, the interviewer. The conversation kingpin is the ruler. You'll never find an interviewer that's cooler than leave you feeling like he already knew you. It's Marcus Boyd, the interviewer. Call him a connoisseur. If you ain't never had it, you about to get it, cause Marcus is about to give it to you. It's Marcus Boyd, the interviewer. Conversation kingpin is the ruler. Woo!
Okay. Listen, shout out to the minister in Atlanta, Georgia for doing that. It's incredible. Listen. Okay, we just gonna jump right in. Okay, we got the icon himself, John McClung Jr. right here on the Marcus the Interviewer Show. But we just gonna jump right in, okay? You know what I mean? Like when I say he's a role model, when I say he's an inspiration, when I say this man is truly a legend and icon, words I can just keep going on. But now we got the pleasantries out the way. Okay, so John, you said that your one of your favorite sentences is we won't have the same conversation in 6 months. You stand by that. That's one of your favorite words. Your sentences, correct?
That is correct. One of my
Okay,
phrases.
so one of your phrases. Okay, so why it's been 4 years? Okay, it's been 4 years. We've been having the same conversation for 4 years. Okay, so so me and America want to know. Um, when is Marcus going to finally get his KkMG jacket? Okay, no. Me and America want to know. With my name on it. Embroidered. We're gonna talk about your embroidery business in a minute. But when is Marcus gonna finally get his KkMG jacket? America want to know. America want to know. America want.
Well, we're gonna have to work on that with our other brother so that we can make sure we get your jacket taken care of. Man. He in charge of KkMG. Now, if you'd have said,
so we blaming it on him. We blaming it on somebody that's not here to defend himself.
But I know I'm the man that do the embroidery, so I will make sure that we get
right. So I've been saying for 4 years, 4 years, 4.
Hey, we couldn't size you up. you weren't close enough for us.
Y'all could size me up.
Customized jackets.
But see, I'm just saying, because you say we won't have the same conversations in 6 months. So
are you throwing me under the bus right now?
I've been saying I've been saying this for
Oh
4 years.
man, it's been
No,
hanging in his
seriously.
it's been hanging in his closet for 3.5 years. We've
So
been waiting on you
you
to
know,
get it.
so my out of all seriousness,
Yeah.
let America know who you are, some of your amazing titles that you have, and what you do.
Well, first of all, man, I'm extremely proud to be a part of your platform because I know your story and I know where you've started and where you've come from to get to this point, and you've put the work in, and it's been amazing to watch the growth and you taking advantage of opportunities, and not only that, creating opportunities that would not normally happen, based on some of the things that you've been up against. So first, let me say, amazing job, and it's been an amazing journey watching you. For me, I'm John McClung Jr., also known as the chaplain, because I am one. And I'm the owner and founder of I Am a Testimony Apparel. I'm also the owner of Jealous One or JLS1 Book Publishing. I am a mental health certified counselor and coach, as well as youth mental health. I'm co-owner of Kingdom Connection Media Group. I also own a travel company called Easy For You Travel. And I have my hands in a few other things that I'm unable to speak on right now, but my baby is I Am a Testimony Apparel brand.
First of all, I don't like talking to rich people. I don't like talking to people with more to entrepreneurial. I don't like talking to rich people. I really don't, because this man, America, this man just laid out about 5 businesses. I know you was asking yourself too, or is he hiring? I know, but like, and
That's the
again,
entrepreneur.
I want to say
That's the
this
entrepreneur.
before we really get started digging in. You know, I love your wife. Okay, you know,
Absolutely.
I love. Listen, America. You know what I'm saying? When I say I love, I ain't talking about normal love. Okay, like I love, have always loved his wife. Okay, so if you friends of theirs and stuff of that nature, you ever got to taste her cooking? My God, that means I know the Lord is real. So I will say happy belated anniversary to you and your wife. What I really love about your wife is, let me talk about this for a second. What I really love about her is America. She didn't take him to Red Lobster or, cheddar biscuits or whatever. America, she took him to another state. Okay, John, she took you to another state to do what? Please tell America what she took you to another state to do, please.
So we're this is our 5th year of marriage. So what we
Mhm.
did was we created an event for one event for each year. So the last event, which was that Sunday, she took me to Tennessee, and I'm in Georgia, but she took me to Tennessee to do whitewater rafting. We've
Okay,
never done it.
so hold up right there, right there. Hold up, listen, okay. Now, for my African American viewers, okay. Now, a lot of us is saying the same question, same thing in our heads, okay. Whitewater rafting, okay. You have to understand the ages of these people, okay. They move like they 20, but they're in their 60s, okay. Let me tell you something. I was so impressed. Okay. Then they doing mount climbing and stuff of that nature. I thought the brother was about to get stuck up there. You understand what I'm saying? But
Or the rock climbing, yeah.
I thought they doing rock climbing. They doing all of these activities that you see at summer camp. So I'm I am superly impressed. Okay. I've been knowing his wife for 5 years and she still looks like she did in 22. Okay. So, so, I mean,
Good
I'm,
living.
listen, y'all are, okay.
Yeah.
Y'all are. We praying for Remy Ma and Papoose, but y'all, that's black love. I don't care. I listen. Anytime you can get your queen to convince you to do stuff that you don't normally do. That OG from LBC, that kind of went out the window when you was doing that whitewater rafting, huh?
Hey, you'd be surprised. What's surprising was the diverse, diversity of those who were actually there, and which was really cool because to see the different variations of culture that were actually enjoying this particular activity. And it was, man, let me tell you, it was amazing. Now there are a lot of things that I wouldn't do over. I do it for the first time because I skydive and everything. So, but this one I would do over several times because of how fun it was.
See, now Deb is probably somewhere in the house listening, like, okay, he's still here. Do it again. Let me go ahead and put a check on there.
I told her when we finished. I told her as soon as we got to come back.
So, tell America, for those who may not know, where'd you grow up, your siblings, mom, dad, where you from, all that good stuff.
Sure. So I'm originally from Long Beach, California, the LBC, and I grew up there. I left home early. I left home at 18. Both my parents, I did have both my parents. My father was a pastor, so I have been in ministry for more than 60 years. Born into it, and so when people say all of their life, it was the life, and so I have no regrets whatsoever in reference to it. I have a brother that's a year and a day younger than I am, and then I have one that's 15 years younger. And my brother right under me took over my dad's church after he passed. So both my parents have passed, and so we still have someone in the family holding it down. So the church is 61 years old now, something to that effect.
Wow.
And so my brother has had it for the last 24 years, I think it is, 22 years. He's been the pastor there. Recently, he was asked to be, well, actually, he was the keynote speaker, the second man of color, the second black man to speak at this organization, which is the American Baptist Association. He was the second black pastor to ever speak at their convention as the keynote speaker. And the first one was my father. So it's the first time a father and son of color have ever done it. And then I introduced him. So they've never had a brother, brothers being, as an introducer and as a keynote speaker. So we have a little bit of history in our family in reference to that. And when it comes to ministry. And so that's kind of the anchor from a standpoint of all the things that I've been able to do and what I am doing. That's the anchor to all of it.
Wow. Like you listen, okay, so America, America, calm down. We're not gonna get to all five businesses. You got like 10, 15 of them. We're not gonna get to all on the night. But let's focus on the ones that I start to know about. Let's focus on I Am a Testimony. How did that get started? And how long has that been in operation?
That's a great question. So, initially the initial, I would say idea, because it's a God idea. The initial God idea came from a marital situation, a traumatic divorce in some ways in 2009. And because of the way that it went, I had an opportunity to be on a guest on a show, actually a co-host back in 2009, a podcast. So, podcasting wasn't really in 2009 that much. So we were on, and at the end of the show, I would say, I am a testimony. And that was in 2009. And in 2011, Lord laid it on my heart to start the brand. So I've had the company since May of 2011. And I built it from the ground up and I'm still building it from the ground up with all the things that I have accomplished. And one of the beauties of this brand, a testimony, everyone is one. Everyone has a story of some thing that has to do with their journey. And so I'm fortunate enough to have a brand that really everybody could wear if they chose to, because they really do have something to talk about in reference to their life. And it's been like any other brand, like any other business, it's been an up and down journey, but it's been a fun one because my apparel has been worn from the US to Africa to Europe, as far as people being in the brand. And so I've been fortunate enough to watch it grow from the ground up, where I only had one t-shirt design. And now, I design from the ground to the crown. So, which is a big difference. One thing about me, Marcus, is I don't wear any other brand than the apparel brand I am responsible for, and that's I am a testimony. So I created my own shoes, you know, apparel, hats, whatever it is that you could think of from a standpoint of apparel. I've probably designed it for my own brand, or I know I'm wearing it, or I have it. One of the two.
You know what? That's so profound and inspirational. But we're going, you know what, America, we about to throw a flag on that play. You know what I'm saying? Red flag. Okay. Because initially, when I met this icon, I told him I wanted to be a model for I Am a Testimony clothing brand. Okay. We are past 9 to 10 years. Is Marcus, America, is Marcus a brand ambassador for I Am a Testimony? Do Marcus have the I Am a Testimony white sneakers? Do Marcus have a jogging suit that says I Am a Testimony? Do he have a bag that says I Am a Testimony? No, Marcus doesn't. Okay?
You putting the pressure on me, ain't you?
Marcus doesn't. Okay. So
Well, you know the
I'm just
shoes
kind of
just came
confused,
out.
America. I'm kind of confused. So
I've already,
help me, help him, America. Help me, help him. so So what when you did I Am a Testimony, would you know, because God gave you that.
mm-hmm.
God gave you that vision, God gave you that direction to do I Am a Testimony. But since you love to break down words, that's you the master, you the master.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We
can
can
you
talk about
break
that.
down I Am a Testimony right here on the Marcus the Interviewer show? Let's go.
Yeah, that I am a testimony. We'll just look at the word testimony. You know, testimony is a spiritual or personal experience that one has either gone through or is going through or has come out of, that that experience is something that they're capable of sharing with others. You know, unless you've actually been through something, you don't have the opportunity, or you really can't identify with those that you may be called to serve. So this particular brand provides the opportunity for individuals who have not or are maybe fearful of sharing their story. So when someone sees them in the apparel, they may ask, why are you a testimony? Or they may just flat out say, I am a testimony. I love that shirt. I'm a testimony too. And then you have that conversation. Now you have two people with a personal experience or a spiritual experience that get a chance to share their story, and they're blessing one another.
Okay, that was a good definition, but I thought you was really gonna break it down like
Oh, you
TES. I thought you were gonna
I
break it down. I mean,
I could do
that
that
what
too.
you
You know, I'm a acrostic teacher, so I can do that too. That's no problem. So think about this. If you think about the definition I just gave from a standpoint of a spiritual or personal experience, number one, in your T, you got to trust God, because if you don't, you're going to have some challenges. And if you do, you're going to have some challenges. But then again, you have something to talk about, because trusting God does show the experience, or does show what a testimony is when you go through those things. See, number two, as far as the E, you got to experience God. See, if you don't, again, there are some things in your life that may happen in a different way, but an experience with God creates a testimony. And then three, you got to stand on the word. You got to stand on trust. You got to stand on faith and belief, because if you don't, you'll fall for anything. If you look at the next T, you know, you got to think on certain things. Why? Your testimony provides you to be able to reflect on what has happened in your life, so you get to think on positive thoughts, things that you've gone through, things that you might be enduring right now, that you will need faith and belief to get through, so that you can talk about it and be able to share it. So when you're thinking on those things, it'll also redirect you from negative stuff. Your testimony should redirect you. It should redirect the way you think. If you think about the I, your testimony should be inspiring. You know, when people go through things, it's an inspiration when you start talking about it, because the more you talk about your inspiring story, the more individuals believe they can go through it too, because they might be able to identify with what you've done, or what may have happened to you. And then when you look at the M, make yourself available to talk about it. Some people hide. You know, I always talk about there's a difference between a beacon and a flashlight. People can hide a flashlight, but you cannot hide a beacon. So make yourself available to talk about your story. Talk about your testimony, because people need to hear it. Your voice is valuable. So if it is valuable, then use your voice. And if you look at the O, see now the O sometimes, the people, you can go different directions, but if you're obedient to what God has placed in your spirit, you follow it, you can never go wrong. Be obedient to God's voice. Be obedient to the Holy Spirit, because again, they are never wrong. Now, if you want to be obedient to people, then you're gonna have some issues because we failed. But being obedient to God and the Holy Spirit, you will always be given or placed in the right direction. So let's talk about the end. Whatever you do within your testimony and story, never give up, because it's the reason you will always have a story. Because if you never give up, there's something that you're going to get through that will allow you to help somebody else to never give up. See, we are either in something, going through something, or coming out of something. So if you're coming out of it, it's because the first two you never gave up on. You never gave up on the situation you're going in, and you never gave up while you were in it. And so the more you never give up, the more you will always have an opportunity to share your story. And then lastly, be a yes person to yourself. See that why you got to be yes to you. Bet on you and understand that your story makes a difference in not only your life, but yes, it makes a difference in other people's lives too. So be willing to say yes to you so that your testimony will be a yes for others. And that's testimony.
Amen. Amen. Preach, preacher. Chaplain. Preach, chaplain. Amen. I feel him all up in here.
I'm
Okay.
glad you recorded that too.
So, okay. So again, when you started, you was making your shirts, heat press. You was doing these stuff, really by hand. Then you graduated. Now, how many products does I Am a Testimony have? Because I promise, y'all got like jeans, shirts, purses. I remember when I first met you, you had like a table, like a nothing but purses on the table. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all got suits, lucky sets. Like,
I've graduated to some things, man. Again, I started out, there's this phrase, humble beginnings, right? So I can always look back at two things. I can look back where I started from, because I got the photos of when I had the one T-shirt and the one design, and then I also have the notes that I wrote down from the day one of what I wanted to create. If I was to continue and be steadfast and diligent and stay in the business, regardless of whatever, these were the items that I was going to make sure that were part of my design, creativity, and everything. The only thing I asked the Lord was, do not take away my creativity. If there's anything else you may take away, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, whatever, just don't take away my creativity. And he never did. So I should have said, don't take away my money, but I said, don't take away my creativity. So now what did that do for me? What that did for me was to know that all the ideas that I saw, all the ideas that I thought about could be brought to life, right? Because the creativity was there. And I knew that if I was capable of thinking it and seeing it, then I was capable of doing it. And so all the things that was on that list, I've been able to do. If you look behind me, you can see one of my new handbags that I've had maybe for a couple of months, and then there's a small one as well. So now I actually customize my own bags. There used to be a time where, I would go to a bag shop, I see some bags I like, and then I would brand them. But now I don't have to do that. I design them now. And so that's what it means to actually stay diligent through the ups and downs of whatever business you are in or whatever situation, because eventually, as you started off the show, is you should not be in the same place 6 months from now that you are now. So I can tell you, when I first started 11 years, 12, 13 years ago, I'm nowhere near that, from a point of all the things that what I started with compared to what I start with now. Right behind me is an embroidery machine. I didn't know anything about doing my own embroidery. Now you should see I could do my own hat. So I'm teaching myself something new, even in my 60s and 14 years in, because there are some things that I want to do for myself. Like you just spoke about printing. I still have my heat press. I got my original heat press that I purchased in 2011.
wow,
She's been with
that's
me for
museum
14
worthy.
years. You know what I'm saying? She's been with me 14 years, and she done printed a lot of stuff. And so the care that you have, and I'm still learning this, the care that you have for your business, the business will care for you. The care you have for your business, the business will eventually care for you. And so if you and I both know that, the brand has won awards. I've been fortunate enough to win awards. One of the other things that I didn't say earlier is that I'm an international speaker and I teach public speaking as far as, what we call, I'm a glossophobist, which is overcoming the fear of public speaking, but I've been around it all my life. But those are things that have allowed me to do some blessing and helping for those I'm called to serve. And then the apparel is connected to that, because when individuals get to a certain space in their life or whatever, they always see me and I am a testimony. And that's the first thing come out. How can I get one? How can I get that shirt? Or, and we have conversations about that. So whatever it is, that your audience, as they're listening, whatever it is that you are pursuing, pursue it in such a way that it becomes a blessing to others so that you can be blessed. And that's
Okay,
a
so again, America, this icon is dropping jewels, wisdom, and gems. But again, flag on the play, offside, second half. So my question is, do you see Marcus in an autism shirt? Do you see Marcus in anything? No, no, you don't see Marcus. Nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm really gonna have a hard time dealing with that. But back to the main meat at hand. So you just don't do clothes. You just don't do apparel. You do multiple things, as you said. So, do you want to talk about when you was in Detroit DJing, like you was
oh
about to
yeah,
be on America's Bandstand? Do you? I mean,
absolutely, that's part of my journey. I went from California. I graduated back in the day, and I left 3 months after I graduated from high school. I moved from California to Arizona to Nevada to Michigan for 25 years to New Mexico, and now to Georgia. And in between there, I stayed in Florida and I stayed in Ohio a little bit. However, I had a DJ service for 20 years in Detroit, right? It's called Dynamic Sounds. And one of the three things it taught me. It taught me how to engage with an audience. It taught me how to handle and speak to an audience, and it taught me how to build a business from the ground. That was my first, probably my second business, but that was the first main business that I had for a period of time, where I didn't know anything again about being a DJ, and I taught myself all the way through handling a business or handling and being well known in Detroit for 20 years. So that allowed me to spill over into other things, knowing that no matter what my hands, what the Lord allowed me to put my hands on, from a standpoint of business, that I could make it work. And so, that was a great experience, because again, I'll tell you this, when I first started DJing, I wouldn't say a word, but I knew how to mix. So I would just let the music do the talking. And then one of my buddies, he was like, yo, man, you got to start talking. And that, when I began to understand how to manage the crowd verbally, and inclusive, because you got to remember, when you got a party going on where it's 10 people or it's 1,000 people, you got to engage with everybody, because you're trying to make the party be something that people are happy they came to. So that's just like talking to an audience in a crowd. When you get on stage, you got to be able to manage, whether it's 10 people in the room, you're doing a seminar, or you're doing a conference, be able to talk to. And I've been able to do both.
see, look at it. Look at it, America. And you know what, America, I will say this. When I was starting off as an autism advocate, I did not know how to write a speech. I did not know how to present a speech or anything else. It was John that helped me formulate and help me with my speech. It was John. Okay. So he really is what he say he is. And speaking of that, okay. So can we, because again, it's two of y'all. So I will be in trouble if I don't really talk about the other half of KkMG. So Tracey Bumpers, he's not here physically because he's handling business. But at the end of the day, whether he's here or not, his flowers is always going to be given. So
Absolutely.
um can we talk about, we know how y'all met. We know that type of situation. I want you to tell us something that we don't know about you and Bump and Tracy. Okay, I want a funny story. We know how y'all met and how y'all formulated KkMG. That's not what this is about. This is about the brotherhood. How y'all been able to work together for so long. How y'all been able to collaborate and do things and still have that friendship, that brotherhood that y'all have.
Yeah, well, Tracey and I have been business partners for 10 years now. Matter of fact, well, actually, in January, it'll be 10 years. So we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary. And the first, you know that every year we do our annual birthday party in January because his birthday is the 18th. Yours is the 31st, I think it is. And then
This
mine's
time,
20.
yep, 31st.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think you were, I think you came in on either the third or fourth one that we were doing. And so each year, of course, we do a theme birthday party. But what people don't know is Tracey never had a birthday party until we did our first one. So our first birthday party was a surprise photo shoot for at a big studio for all the individuals that came, and you were there. If I remember correctly, you were sitting on the front. Yeah, you was on the front row. So that was our first one, and that was his first ever birthday party. Now he was, let's see, I think he was 50, either 51 or 52. Or no, he was 40, I think 49 or just turning 50, one of the two. But yeah, so to watch him, he was like a kid in the candy store because of how we did the party. I'm giving away shirts and gear and all kind of stuff. We're giving away free photos shoots for everybody that from a standpoint of whether they want to have fun photo shoots or professional. And we had just started the business and we were doing this. And so a lot of people did not know, based on you would have thought we had been doing this a while based on how that particular party had been going, how it was and how we did it in such a short period of time, as well as all the other things behind it. And to know that that was his first birthday party in his life. And he will let you know, like, he had no idea that we were going to do that in such a way, and it's been impactful. We've never missed one except for last year or this year. And the only reason we didn't do one this year is because he'll be turning 60 in January, and it's our 10th year, so we saved ourselves for that one.
All I know is, first of all, if I'm not DJing or there at the 10-year celebration, I'm gonna know something. Second of all, in his favorite words, when he be, I love Bump because he be like, Marcus, Marcus, Marcus. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
Bump, Bump has an incredible, very powerful story,
Mm-hmm.
resilience, determination. You know, he has always been a role model to me. And in 2 days, my son Malachi will be 9 years old.
Wow.
And
Wow.
if if
Malachi 9?
he'd be nine. So if it was not for John and Tracey Bumpers, my son just had a heart murmur surgery, just had a heart surgery when we met them. And he was 6 months. And we were sleeping in the car for about a week or two. And again, I will always credit John and Tracey Bumpers for saving my son's life. And
Mm.
that's the truth. That's the truth. They saved his life because they gave him something I could not give him. And
Mm.
and then Tracy went over and beyond with helping with money and diapers and food and everything else. Again, those two are the fathers and big brothers I never had, even though I got 10 of them, even though I got 10 brothers, but I have never, you know what I'm saying? So, Tracy is has a super big heart. He'll help anybody. And,
Yeah.
he loves to help people with photos. So, okay. So listen, he's not here, but I'm telling you, if you got like a business, you starting up a business, or you got something or whatever, and Tracy, please, he gonna pull out that camera. You understand what I'm saying? He pull out that camera. You know what I'm saying,
That's
but
true. You keep
but
on with him.
he is he always says, "I'm not the talker. John is, Marcus is not the talker." But he talks through his work, he talks through his compassion, and he talks through the way that he loves on people. He talks that way. And he always says that, we had some tough love to Marcus. Marcus.
Think about this, man. When I met Tracey, uh, he was working, at the one apartment complex. He was extremely fearful from a standpoint of really knowing his talent. And so he and I had a conversation one day, and I told him, "Listen, take a chance on yourself and go from one location to another." And so when he moved over to the current apartment, he took a chance on himself, and he's like, he the man right now over there. And he found out that his worth in himself was higher than he thought it was. And to think that from where he and I started 10 years ago, now you got to remember he is now we both are, right? We both got the Presidential Biden Award, and you also we are one of the few that have the Danny Glover Humanitarian Award, and then also he's now Dr. Bumpers, so he's Dr. Tracey Bumpers now. And
Look, America,
you
let's go
know,
ahead where you are. Give him a hand clap for Dr.
if you
Tracey
know, man,
Bumpers.
if you know where this country boy has come from, and since we've been together, he's grown leaps
Meridian, Mississippi. He is from
and
Meridian. Listen, I'm in Vicksburg currently. I'm in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay, so that's literally up the street. So
that's why he
he
loves the
is.
brand so much. That's why he loves the brand, and that's why we have the balance we do, because he has the amazing eye from a standpoint of film, video, photography, all of those things, imagination. And then for me, the promotion and marketing and branding as well as designing. And it's a perfect fit because we have everything under one roof under Kingdom Connection Media Group. I wouldn't trade the brother for the world. And I got two brothers, and he knows them. So he just came along as another brother like you.
I mean, when y'all first allowed me to be in KkMG, I didn't know what it was because my thing was I was just making beats for anybody, but I really understood it moving forward that it's deeper than Kingdom Connection. It's a
Mm-hmm.
true connection, a true brotherhood. And whether it's ups, downs, backwards, forwards, or whatever, you can call on your brothers. You understand what I'm saying? Regardless, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, because I get it, I was the headache. Yes, I admit I was the headache. So, so, you know, that's the truth.
But
But
you get a
what?
chance. No, go ahead, go ahead,
Huh?
go ahead, go ahead. No, I was gonna say,
No, but
but
what I'm saying is what it did for me was transformational.
mm-hmm,
It totally
right.
changed my life meeting John and Tracy. Literally. I know some people say that, but I mean it in
Mm,
every shape of the word. Okay? Because after I met y'all, I had an ultimatum inside of Bump's old apartment. I mean Tracy's old apartment. Either you choose me, either you choose me and your son, or you choose them.
hmm.
And if you choose them, you will lose us. So when the ultimatum hit, y'all was having your first birthday party at the warehouse, the photo
Mm,
shoot. That's why I was there in the front row.
yeah.
Okay?
But
So
what's interesting, man, is think about this. Think about the first phone call that you made to me, and think about the interview that we're having now. With that first phone call, we never saw this moment.
no,
And I mean, and everything in between. I always talk about people's dashes. People say, well, it's life, and from the time you're born till the time you pass away. But the question is, how many people are standing on the dash? And so, who are you helping that is actually standing on that dash? That when it's time for you to go home, that they can actually speak to why they're standing on the dash. because of all the things that you did from a serving aspect and a helping aspect to where they can speak positive about you. Some people just got a dash. And then there are some people who will have people on it that can actually speak about why your dash is that strong that it can hold this many people up.
Again, America, I never knew none of this was going to pop off because, again, I've always respected John as a centered, quiet, spiritual one. And when you came around John, you had to get yourself in order. It's like being around him. You can't be about foolishness or whatever. You got to be about your business at all times. It's like one of those Marine type of people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be about your business at all times. And that's why I love Tracy, because Tracy gave me that other balance where I can be stupid, where I can be a fool. You know what I'm saying? And it was encouraging. So you know what I'm saying. And so
Balance. Look at balance.
it was a
That's for sure.
it was a balance because I know John gonna give me the seriousness. He gonna give me the inspirational talks. He gonna really get on me or whatever. With Tracy, it was always, oh bro, don't let John find out. Don't you let John find. But I
That's
am
true.
I am super proud of both of y'all from where the journey to where y'all came from and what y'all currently doing. Speaking of currently doing, can you talk
Yeah.
a little bit about? I mean, I know it must be NDAs, hush hush type of stuff, but can you talk about the reality show that both of y'all are taking part in?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That one is that there's it's not too hush hush, but there are some things in the background. But as you know, over the last 2 years, we are also partnered with a company called Key to Life Media Group, and because we've been working together, and so we have one umbrella. But our team has been working with a group of professional women out in South Carolina that are judges and lawyers and business owners, and they have each one of the ladies owns a boat, either a mini yacht or a nice size 39, 49 footer boat. But they're called the Dock Divas, and so we have done a reality. Actually, I want to say bio reality show, not one of those crazy ones because of the professionalism of the women. But we've done a show. We worked on it for probably a year and a half from a
Mm.
standpoint of episodes. We're actually getting ready to start the second season, and from what we know, there was a bid between two major companies. I think Tubi and Prime Video or Prime, Amazon Prime, and so they both were trying to vie for for the rights or for to get the show on their channels, and so that's the process we're in now. So probably in the next couple of months, because we thought it was going to be in March, but there were some other things that we needed to do, and so by the end of the year we'll have that series on one of those networks, and so we'll
See,
be.
look at it. Look at this, America. This icon is doing major and big things. Again, flag on the play, third season, third off. Okay, so the reason why America I put a flag on this play is because they up here filming real documentaries with successful women, doc life, and they are very successful entrepreneur ladies, but his little brother is getting a Music Lifetime Achievement Award November 22nd of this year. America, did 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 he say I'm gonna come down to Mississippi and let's go ahead and film that? No, America, he did
I
not.
had no
No,
idea. You didn't let your
no,
brother know.
America, he did not offer, not not.
Man, you've been putting some pressure. Listen, you know what's crazy? I didn't even get it. And we were actually supposed to go to Missouri when my brother was speaking and document that because it was historical. And so,
Mhm.
we're kind of offbeat right now because we got so much on our plates from a standpoint
Yeah,
of business.
so yeah, because this will be the first time anybody with autism ever get a Music Lifetime Achievement Award.
You got to let
So
us know. We got to put that on
I
the calendar.
it's November the 22nd in
Okay.
Biloxi, Mississippi.
Oh, oh yeah, we could do that. That's down the road, man. That's one of my favorite places.
And you can get on the beach. I'm trying to book myself on Good Morning Mississippi. How you doing? And You get
that's a
on the beach.
that's an amazing achievement, brother. You know, because we know the awards that you've gotten up to this point, but that's really an amazing achievement, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I keep telling, Tracy that he really put the battery in my back. Maybe I would not be an autism global activist if he not put that battery in my back. When he said that you have a testimony, why should anybody care about it? What makes
Mm,
your testimony different from other people's? And I was on that brown leather couch and I told him, I don't know, but I'm gonna make sure the world knows it. And
and
we are here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you
So,
have, and that's been impressive to watch, to say the least.
well, what is impressive to me, Chaplain, if I can finally, I mean, January, you said it, January be 10 years. That's what you
Mhm.
said.
That
So
is.
that means I've been screaming this for what? 10 years. So if I can get such stuff as a jogging suit, a book bag, a jacket, I mean, my jacket. So we won't have this conversation in 6 months.
We
I
go,
mean,
we gonna make it happen, man. We gonna make it happen.
I
You know,
want to do the next interview.
now, hold on a second though. So here's what you didn't do. So you didn't tell your audience that I designed your first shoes for your crew from a standpoint of your brand. So you know
Yes,
you
he
got that.
did.
You can't leave everything out there. You can't
Yes,
listen.
he's the
All the
reason why G Souls exists. John
That is
McClung
correct.
Jr. is the reason why G Souls exists. He's the reason why I Am a Testimony had colorful letters and stuff in there. Um, because he started representing autism before anybody really was doing it. So, for those things, I'm very super grateful to John McClung Jr. He's just trying to pick up a red flag. I threw down three of them. So for that, I will pick up a red flag. I'll pick up a red flag because he is absolutely right. But what I don't understand is, sir, how you give people like Minister and everybody else, you give them whole jogging suits and stuff
Just
of
believe
that nature.
that
And
minister.
I still,
The minister came in
no,
my closet. Man. He came in my rack and walked out without me
no,
knowing.
no, no, no. Hold on, America. No, you stay right there, America. Hold on. No,
Oh
no,
man,
no, no.
man, you going in the closet on your show?
Listen, I'm America. Hold on, you stay right there, America. You stay right there. You stay right there, America. You know what I'm saying? Because
Uh-oh.
this is all I have, America. You see this? Let me stand
Not
back.
all
Okay?
you have.
Let me stand back.
That is
Okay?
not all you have. Stop.
This America. You see this? It says it right here, America. You see it. Let me stand back. Let me go ahead and stand
You
back.
know, you know I have the photos, right, of us in different shirts, right? You know I do have
Okay.
the photo.
Okay, you have photos ranging from almost 10-year time span. I'm talking about America currently in my closet. Right now as we speak, America. Guess what? Guess what I only got? This right here, America. This. Currently. Okay? I
You
love
got
it.
me on
It smells good.
You got. I'm gonna have to do better, man. I got to get you squared away. But you know, again, you used to have an opportunity where you could walk in and you could say, "Bro, I need this and this size," and then you could just the next day you'll have it. So you left us, man. So it's difficult now. So I got my schedule
No,
is crazy.
no, America. America, my big brother still has my Autism Lifetime Achievement Awards nesting safely in his house.
Yeah, I do that you haven't come and gotten yet. That's a stipulation. You got to come get them.
So he got him. It's nested. They're in his house. But no, seriously. All jokes aside, I love to have fun with y'all because truly y'all are my inspirations. Definitely has been my role models for years. So, and will continue to be. I will always out my mouth scream the praise of John McClung Jr. and Tracey Bumpers because again, there's a almost 9-year-old football player and beat maker that
Man,
exists.
you. Wow, that is when we saw that little fella. He was in. his mom's arms, just being, he was only a few months old.
He was 6 months.
Yeah, when we first saw him, to know that he's 9, when there was a point of his, him being able to walk and all these kind of things
Yep.
that were going, and to
Yeah.
know that now he's been running around, riding bikes, playing sports. It's truly first of all, it lets you know that you're aging, and then it lets you know that things do come true when you are surrounded by the right people and with the right people, those who care, regardless if you're family members or not. And that was the situation. We didn't care. We wanted to make sure that you were all right. And to think, man, we didn't even know you.
Right. You
We,
and you
we
know, I tell people this all the time. You know what I mean? Like one of the greatest legacies that John McClung Jr. and Tracey Bumpers have ever created together was the transformation of a mindset and help a young black man become successful.
mm,
Their success is mine and mine is theirs because they were my teachers. And that's the truth. I didn't have teachers before them. They became my teachers. They taught me how to be proud, black, intelligent, and successful, and still fear and humble to God and put him first. So,
first and foremost.
that's
Hmm.
the truth.
Yeah,
That's
and the beauty of that is, there's a talk that I did, and it was based on what will you do when your purpose is tested. And one of the last point, which is you got to show proof, right? And it was the story of Abraham, and he was getting ready to show proof because he had the knife. He was getting ready to kill Isaac, and the angel stopped him, which was the proof that he would do what the Lord had assigned him to do from a standpoint of his purpose. And so it's interesting to know that from the beginning of the first call or the conversation, to watch go from where you may not, where you didn't have a particular purpose in life, you had some conversations because you got around the right people. The right people stayed with you, and we did many things together because we had some great accomplishments during the course. You also listened to some wisdom, some knowledge, and some understanding based on the experience. Because I'm a little close to 20 years older than you are, and so you got a chance to hear those things of what we have in our experiences gone through as mentors. So as you spoke about mentoring, coaching, and all that, and then to say to build, and because I want the audience to understand that people got to be around you that build you up, not break you up, because we begin to build you up, and from a standpoint of confidence, answering the questions that you had, giving direction, and then allowing your wings to spread in the fashion in which you needed them to go, even though we kind of tugged on them a little bit, trying to hold you, to make sure you jumped out of the nest correctly. And then once you did, now we see the fruit of the labor that Tracey and I had in reference to you, the seeds that we were planting. Because again, the first time that we met, you were nowhere near a person that could actually have their own podcast show,
you
and
ain't
be able to have,
lying. Boy,
right,
boy,
and
you telling the
communicate.
truth.
You know what I'm saying? That was not the flavor you were in. You could do music and all, which you did amazingly, but that was your outlet. It wasn't verbal. It wasn't verbal. It wasn't communication. Was your outlet. Now you combine the both. You've gone from A to L now. You know what I'm saying? So and so that's been I think that's one of the things that people should know, what it means to have the right people around you that believe in you. And sometimes, there's that statement where we had to hold your dreams for you until you could hold them. And how were we doing that? We were consistently saying, man, Marcus, you could do this regardless of what you're dealing with, the things you're going through. You can push through that because you're smart enough to, regardless of what people were saying or how you saw yourself first. And we kept saying, no, that's not you, man. Your worth is this. And we kept planting seeds until they finally took root, and we could hand you that dream, and you just took off with it. you start doing stuff we hadn't done, So and that we would have to look and go like, listen. There has been many days that me and Tracey have called each other because we talk every day, and he'll say, "Man, did you see what Marcus is doing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he just sent me this note that he's the the featured person in this magazine, or he's the keynote speaker at this particular talk and conference, and he's this, we kept being like, man, every time we turn around, we calling each other talking about what he's doing because we remember those days sitting in the apartment, all three of us together, and you enjoying rice and me cooking, and we having these conversations about where things can go. It's the same thing about sitting in that room with one camera. Now we got 9, right? Sitting in that room wondering whether or not we could build this business. Now we're an award-winning business. Sitting in that room whether or not we could go different places. We've traveled and done major boat shows and these kind of shows and in reality shows, because we all sat in that one little apartment and had conversations, and our dreams started coming true based on the fact that we believed it enough and we built each other up enough to make them happen, not only individually, but collectively, because every time we get an award, we always talk about each other.
Period. Listen, I don't care. America, let me tell you something, okay? Y'all gonna throw me away, put me in the trash can, and put the lid on. I don't care. Every time on November 22nd, 2025, when I get the Music Lifetime Achievement Award, you can best believe, you know what I'm saying? John McClung Jr. name and Tracey Bumpers' name will be flying out my mouth a couple times. So it's just what it is. It's so before we, I really want to know I got 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for you, and what's next for KkMG as a collective and a team? And because we recording this, what positive message will you send to your brother Tracey Bumpers that's not here right now?
Oh man, let me start with that. I love that brother to death. This. No, excuse me. I love him to life. And the one thing that I will say first and foremost about Tracey Bumpers, also known as T Bump, is that he and I can have a heart-to-heart conversation and be open about not only our wins but our losses. And most of what he and I consider losses are actual learning. So it's not it's not a loss thing, it's a learning thing. What did we learn from this that can make us better? He asked me one day, John, do you think that we have been successful from a standpoint of our business, Kingdom Connection Media Group? And I in return, Marcus asked him what did he think about or consider what was success to him? And my answer was, here we go. Are we having the same conversation today that we had 9 years ago? Do we have do we have more today than we had 9 years ago? And so you can't measure it by money. You have to measure it by who you've helped over the course of that time. We were in an award show, and then I'll move to your next question. We were in an award show, and and Tracey was looking around the room of all the individuals that were in the award show, and I didn't make that show at the time. He called me. He's like, John, I'm sitting in this award show, but we were about to get out because we were getting an award. He said, man, do you know that more than 80% of the people in this room we have helped in some way in reference to getting to where they are? Now think about, it was like 200 or 300 people in the room. And somehow or another, KkMG has touched all of those individuals in some way in reference to what they are trying to accomplish or helping them get started. So if you look at success, how many people are you helping? We can say we've helped a lot over 10 years, a lot, and you know that. So the second part to your question, other than my brother, is for me, I am dropping a bunch of new stuff. You just saw the new shoe. and that was just a sample shoe because I will be coming out with like 4 the unshakable soles, the stand on the ground, not stand on the ground, the steadfast shoe. I got some names, can't think of them all, but I got about 5 or 6 that are going to be coming out. So I'm working on the apparel brand to go to a level that even I'm afraid of, from a standpoint of coming into the new year, because of all the things that I want to do. And in all honesty, Marcus, I want to be able to put it in a position where I can take my hands off of it and do some of the other things I want to do. And then I'm also, you'll hear it first on his show. It's been talked about before, but I'm also the designer and the senior designer for the Black Football League that's coming out next year. So I'm designing the uniforms, some other gear for the founder. I'm working with him hand in hand. So, as quiet as it is kept, the BFL is coming next year, Lord willing. And when it does, I'll be on the ground level with it. So you'll hear it first, BFL, Black Football League, next year.
Ooh, America. Look, hand clap. This man is doing some monumental, historic, oh my God, inventive type of work with him and by himself and with, my big brother Tracey Bumpers and everything else what KkMG got to offer. But, Mr. Chaplin, America again wants to ask you one last question. Can America ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, so America want to know, when is Marcus finally going to get his KkMG jacket, when he's going to get some autism apparel gear?
That's Let me share this with America. Hold on, America. There is as a business designer or as a brand designer, and as a person that has clientele or who have helped individuals get started, there's 3 things I always ask. Do you have an idea? Do you have your design? And do you have your file? And if you have those 3, then I can move you along. So he only has one of the 3.
First of all, America, that's not true. It's all these new designs.
And if he has them, I don't have them. So until then, from a brand standpoint, I know I've done some things for my brother. I have, and so
Yes, he has.
I've seen every probably thought that he's had from a point of what a shirt, a hat, or what design. I've seen probably 200 different designs.
Yes, he has.
So I know that when he's ready, I'm ready, and he knows that too because I've shown him the custom work before he even get a chance to finish sending me the next file or whatever it might be. So we'll get it. We'll make it happen, bro. We will. Because
I'm
a man of my word.
Well, I just in January don't want to be having this same conversation about my KkMG America. He acting like I didn't earn that KkMG jacket. Okay, everybody got the jacket with the name on the side. Yeah, like I didn't earn it.
Where were you when we did those jackets?
I'm like, I even came back to Georgia. Bump showed me his in his closet. Like,
he didn't even know he was getting one. I surprised him with his. As a matter of fact, I customized his too. So he didn't even know.
Well, how about this? Surprise me for my birthday. It's January. You got a birthday? He got a birthday. Surprise.
Hey, listen, it'll be right on this machine. We got you covered. I will make sure it happens. Because the next time I get on one of your shows, you are not gonna throw me under the bus. You're gonna be like, okay. You're gonna be wearing the jacket.
Now, before we leave, Mr. John, is there any pearls of wisdom or knowledge that you want to give to America? Anything that you want to say before we go?
Oh man. Well, first of all, again, let me say how proud I am of you, Marcus Boyd. You are an individual who truly is a testimony. I can truly, the reason why I believe that the Lord sent the disciples out 2 by 2, because they had an opportunity to really prove that what they did on the journey, the other person can speak to it. So I know that even though it's 3 of us, we still did kind of a 2 by 2, and we can speak to the things that you've gone through, the things that you've accomplished, the things that you've done. So when people say, do you know Marcus Boyd? Has he done this? Yes, he has, because we saw him from where he started to where he is today. and we're able to speak to all the things in between. So I'm proud to be able to say that and put that stamp of approval, despite all the haters that might want to be in your journey. And there are some, because they're in my journey too, and anybody else that's listening, you got them too. Because if you don't, you ain't doing anything.
That's
So
true.
if you want to take that pearl and go with it, then do some stuff that's so big. Do something. Here's my pearl. Do something so big and make your name so known that history cannot erase you or it.
Mm, and see, America, that's why this man he is I am a testimony. Okay. Okay. Now, message for Tracey Bumpers. Okay. I'm not just gonna get on him. I'm gonna get on you too, sir. You know what I'm saying? So when you be getting your KkMG bags, your book bags, your jogging suits, your shirts, you don't even call me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You like forget my number. So I want to be able to hold up one of your KkMG shirts and stuff of that nature because they are incredible. And to Chaplain John McClung Jr., thank you for Icon for being on this show, the Marcus the Interviewer show.
It's been
You
fun.
know, thank Tracey Bumpers for being here. And you know, I don't know where she at. I don't know if she sleep, whatever. But you better thank your better half and tell her
I,
that
I
when I
love that.
come to Georgia, the first thing I want to do is put my bags down so I can go straight to her house and tell her had that lasagna ready with that smooth jazz. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So,
We'll make sure that the door is open, brother, and the
because
light is
I'm
on.
coming. Okay, so.
Yes, sir. But
But again,
it's been
America, thank you for joining the Marcus the Interviewer show. And as always, before I end, if you have autism or any type of special needs, know that you're a champion, know that you're a warrior. Do not allow a diagnosis to stop you. And as my mentors taught me, you got to reach beyond your infinity and you got to be able to make it happen. Okay? Till next time, America.